Welcome back to Animeverse Hubs, your ultimate hub for Donghua breakdowns, recaps, and anime lore deep dives. What if I told you there was a figure in the human race whose very name sends ripples across the endless universe? A palace master of Hongmeng so feared, so respected, that even other universe masters measure their words carefully in his presence. His name is Tian Shi Palace Master. But who exactly is he? Where does his power come from? And what makes him one of the most dangerous leaders in the cosmos? Today we're unraveling the hidden story, techniques, and influence of Tian Shi. And by the end of this breakdown, you'll understand why his shadow looms so large over both enemies and allies alike. To understand Tian Shi Palace Master, we first need to understand Hongmeng itself, the great alliance formed to unite humanity's top powerhouses against the threats of the endless universe. Hongmeng isn't just a club. It's the shield and sword of humanity. Every member carries a star mark on the back of their hand, a rank that reflects their strength, battle record, and contribution. From one-star immortal kings all the way up to the palace masters who stand at the absolute peak. Now let's pause here. Most warriors dream of reaching 3 stars. A rare few climb to 6, 7-star members. They're legends. Universe masters who can crush entire civilizations if provoked. But above even those 7 stars, there exists the title of Palace Master. This is where Tian Shi resides. Only Tier 2 Universe Masters or stronger can hold such a title. That means beings who can not only roam the vast universe freely, but also manipulate laws and forces on a scale so terrifying that entire races bow before them. So when we say Palace Master Tian Shi, we're not just talking about a warrior, we're talking about one of the pillars of humanity. Within the Hongmeng virtual city, members live according to their rank. Outer city for stars 1 to 3, inner city for stars 4, 6. And at the very core, the Hongmeng Palace, where the Palace Masters reside. Tian Shi does not merely live in Hongmeng Palace, he commands presence there. Every time he steps through those massive golden halls, the weight of his aura reminds even other palace masters why he deserves his throne. But unlike the Chaos City Lord, who is known for his mentorship and guiding hand over talents like Feng, Tian Shi's reputation is built on a different foundation: unquestionable power and ruthless achievement. The question is, how did Tian Shi reach this level? How did he ascend from the ranks of immortal kings to the seat of Palace Master, carving a name feared even by alien races? Canonically, the novel leaves Tian Shi's earliest years veiled in mystery. We don't get a page-by-page biography of his youth, but we do know the standards of Hongmeng. To even be considered for Palace Master, Tian Shi would have already proven himself in countless cosmic wars, defeating universe overlords, and surviving battles where even the strongest immortals were annihilated. Think about that. When weaker warriors collapse under the crushing pressure of a single alien race, Tian Shi was the one cutting down foes who themselves commanded armies. Where Chaos City Lord is a strategist and teacher, Tian Shi rose more like a warlord, a frontline ruler forged through endless battles. Now here's something crucial. The virtual universe system automatically updates the rank of every Hongmeng member based on their contributions and battles. That means Tian Shi's path to Palace Master wasn't about politics. It wasn't about connections. It was carved through blood, victories, and undeniable dominance. The mark on his hand? It once burned with the stars of lesser ranks, climbing one by one, until finally it shifted into the mark of Palace Master, a symbol only a handful of humans have ever worn. Although the novel never gives us a detailed list of every move in Tian Shi's arsenal, we know enough about Tier 2 Universe Masters to paint a vivid picture. Tian Shi's strength lies not only in raw power, but in mastery of the laws of the universe. Universe Masters at this level bend space, time, and origin laws like ordinary warriors bend metal. Tian Shi has been described as someone whose mere presence warps the battlefield, making escape nearly impossible. Imagine it. A foe faces him, thinking they can retreat. But with a flick of Tian Shi's will, space folds shut around them, trapping them like prey in a cage. And once the prey is locked in, his strikes fall with the weight of entire worlds. This is Tian Shi's reputation. Not subtle, not nurturing, but crushing, absolute dominance. And this is where Tian Shi's reputation begins to diverge sharply from figures like Chaos City Lord. Chaos City Lord is respected for his patience, for guiding geniuses like Feng, and ensuring humanity's future is secure through mentorship. Primal Chaos. City leader is the voice of wisdom and stability. Tian Shi, on the other hand, is the Iron Fist. He isn't remembered for guiding students, but for breaking enemies. He's the kind of palace master who reminds both friend and foe that raw power still rules the universe. And in Hongmeng, that balance matters. Where Chaos City Lord nurtures, Tian Shi enforces. One builds the foundation, the other ensures no one dares shake it. Let's not mince words. To hold the title of Palace Master, one must be at least a Tier 2 Universe Master. That already places Tian Shi above nearly everyone in Hongmeng, including 7-star members who themselves are titans of the universe. But here's what makes this level of existence so terrifying. He wields absolute command of origin laws far beyond the reach of venerables. His strikes aren't measured in kilometers or planets, but in cosmic scales. He can erase entire star fields if he so chooses. Even space-time itself bends to his will. When Tian Shi steps onto a battlefield, he doesn't just fight, he defines the battlefield. Opponents don't wonder if they'll lose. They wonder how long they can survive before the inevitable collapse. What sets Tian Shi apart from other palace masters is the ruthless clarity of his style. Where Chaos City Lord favors defensive mastery and mentoring roles, Tian Shi embraces offensive supremacy. His techniques focus on spatial sealing. Once you're marked by Tian Shi, retreat becomes impossible. Space folds in around you like a petekiking. Law suppression. His mastery of laws isn't subtle. It's like a mountain pressing down on his enemies, cutting their strength in half before the fight even begins. Overwhelming force. Every strike carries weight equivalent to collapsing stars. His reputation is built on crushing victories, not prolonged duels. Think of him as the spear of Hongmeng. If Chaos City Lord is the shield, Tian Shi is the unstoppable thrust that pierces enemy lines. So what exactly has Tian Shi accomplished that sets him apart? While the novel doesn't list every single battle in vivid detail, what we do know is this: he was instrumental in securing humanity's survival against alien overlord forces during cosmic conflicts that wiped out countless immortals. He crushed universe overlords who once threatened human territories, cutting them down in duels that are still referenced in whispers among immortal kings. His victories accumulated so heavily that his contribution points skyrocketed, making his elevation to Palace Master a matter of inevitability. There's even speculation that one of his greatest achievements was against a coalition of alien venerables, where he single-handedly prevented the fall of multiple human starfields. While Chaos City Lord ensured humanity bred geniuses, Tian Shi ensured there was still space for those geniuses to exist. Now let's talk about something juicier: rivalries. Because in Hongmeng, even among palace masters, politics and pride collide. Well, Chaos City Lord. Their contrast is stark. Chaos City Lord guides and nurtures. Tian Shi enforces and crushes. The two don't openly clash, but there is tension, a quiet acknowledgement that their philosophies are different. Chaos builds the future. Tian Shi secures the present. Primal Chaos City Leader. Known for his calm and wisdom, Primal Chaos often acts as a counterbalance to Tian Shi's aggressive influence. Their debates within Hongmeng's inner council are legendary, one advocating patience, the other demanding decisive strikes. Other palace masters, rivalries aren't always hostile. Sometimes they're about dominance, about proving who is the sharpest blade. Tian Shi's sheer combat record ensures his voice carries weight in every debate. What's fascinating is that despite these rivalries, Tian Shi commands respect. Even those who disagree with him cannot deny his value to humanity's survival. Tian Shi isn't just a weapon, he's also a political force. In Hongmeng councils, decisions about wars, alliances, and cosmic strategies often come down to the voices of palace masters. When Tian Shi speaks, his words are backed by centuries of battle records. That makes his arguments hard to dismiss. If he says strike now, few dare to oppose without careful reasoning. This gives Tian Shi enormous sway, in how humanity interacts with alien races. While others argue for negotiation or patience, Tian Shi embodies the belief that power is the only true deterrent, and history has often proven him right. Among humanity's enemies, Tian Shi's name is more than a title, it's a warning. Alien factions, whether beast clans or machine races, understand that provoking humanity risks waking giants like Tian Shi. He is the deterrent, the reason many alien overlords think twice before launching invasions into human territory. It's not just that he's powerful, it's that he's consistently victorious. No one wants to gamble with a battlefield where Tian Shi might appear. Here's where it gets interesting. While Chaos City Lord is Luo Feng's mentor and guiding light, Tian Shi's influence is indirect but immense. Think about it. Luo Feng's growth depended on the safety and stability of the human race. Without palace masters like Tian Shi crushing alien threats and holding the line, Luo Feng would never have had the breathing room to grow into the genius he became. Even if Tian Shi never sat with Luo Feng face to face, his shadow ensured Luo Feng's journey wasn't cut short by alien blades. He is the unspoken guardian, the sword that ensures the next generation has time to rise. So what separates Tian Shi from other palace masters? It comes down to focus. Chaos City Lord equals mentor, protector of geniuses. Primal Chaos equals stabilizer, wise decision maker. Other palace masters equals specialists in law, comprehension, or management. But Tian Shi, he is the executioner. When decisions are made, he is the one sent to make enemies regret ever existing. His role isn't guidance, it's fear. Every legend in the human race has two sides, the story of their power and the story of their legacy. Tian Shi Palace Master is no different. He rose through blood and battle, cemented his throne in Hongmeng, and crushed alien overlords into dust. But the true question we have to ask is this: what remains after the battles are over? What does his existence mean for the human race? And for Luo Feng, the man destined to rise beyond every palace master? Tian Shi's life represents a single truth: power is survival. Unlike Chaos City Lord, who believed in nurturing talent, Tian Shi believed in immediate dominance. To him, it didn't matter how bright humanity's future geniuses were if they didn't survive the present. This philosophy isn't just talk, it shaped his entire legacy. He demanded action when councils debated endlessly. He supported direct strikes against alien threats. He stood as proof that raw power, wielded decisively, could change the tide of wars. In a way, Tian Shi embodied the present tense of survival, while Chaos City Lord embodied the future tense of hope. Both necessary, both essential, but very different visions. Within Hongmeng, Tian Shi's rank wasn't just ceremonial. As a palace master, his influence extended into every decision humanity made. Picture the Hongmeng virtual city, the outer city filled with 1-3-star warriors buzzing like ants, the inner city, home of the 4-6-star elites, where venerables and peak kings debated their worth. And then, at the very core, the Hongmeng Palace, where only 7-star beings and palace masters reside. Tian Shi wasn't just sitting there, he was one of the loudest voices in that hall. When alien factions tested humanity's borders, it was often Tian Shi who said, "Strike first, show them fear." Other palace masters played their roles. Some counseled patience, some balanced strategies. But when it came to decisive enforcement, the others turned to Tian Shi. He was the sword arm of Hongmeng. Now let's deepen the contrast we touched in early part of the story, because Tian Shi's relationships with other palace masters weren't just political, they were philosophical clashes that shaped humanity's destiny. Chaos City Lord, mentor, protector, and builder of geniuses. Chaos represents future security through talent. Tian Shi represents present security through dominance, both necessary yet fundamentally opposed in method. Primal Chaos City Leader, a stabilizer. He believed in equilibrium, balancing extremes. Where Tian Shi pushed aggression, Primal Chaos urged restraint. Together, they shaped a middle path for humanity. Other palace masters, some aligned with Tian Shi's ruthlessness, others feared it, but none could ignore it. This dynamic meant that every decision in Hongmeng carried the fingerprints of Tian Shi's philosophy. even when he wasn't the one making the final call. Here's the fascinating part. While Chaos City Lord personally guided Luo Feng, Tian Shi's role was indirect, yet absolutely vital. Ask yourself, would Luo Feng have even had the time to train in Primal Chaos City or evolve into the genius he became? If alien races had crushed humanity's defenses in those years? The answer is no. Behind the scenes, it was palace masters like Tian Shi who made sure humanity's territory remained intact. His ruthless strikes against alien overlords bought humanity time. Time for Luo Feng to grow. Time for Earth to remain untouched. Time for the human race to gamble everything on the rise of one man. In this way, Tian Shi is the silent architect of Luo Feng's success. Not because he taught him, but because he cleared the battlefield of threats that could have snuffed out Luo Feng's destiny before it ever began. Tian Shi's legacy isn't just written in human history, it's etched into the nightmares of humanity's enemies. To the monster race, his name is synonymous with humiliation, as several of their venerables fell to his overwhelming force. To the machine race, he represents unpredictability, a being whose sheer aggression often bypassed their cold logic. To countless minor alien civilizations, Tian Shi was the storm that broke their fleets, leaving stories that became cautionary tales. Even when Tian Shi wasn't physically present, his reputation altered the battlefield. Alien commanders hesitated. Overlords second-guessed themselves, because no one wanted to gamble on Tian Shi appearing in the middle of their campaign. But within humanity itself, his legacy is double-edged. On one hand, Tian Shi is revered as a hero of survival, a warrior who never hesitated to put his life on the line for the human race. On the other, he is criticized for being too ruthless, too eager to strike, too unwilling to compromise. And yet, isn't that what a sword must be? Not gentle, not forgiving, but absolute. This is why Tian Shi's name remains immortal in Hongmeng's history, because even if some disagreed with his methods, none could deny his results. The human race owes its survival to many factors, but the greatest tension comes down to two visions. Chaos City Lord's vision: protect the seeds of the future, nurture geniuses, and build a foundation so strong that no one can shake it. Tian Shi's vision: crush every threat immediately, ensure the present remains unbroken, and let fear be the shield of humanity. Both visions shaped the era. Without Chaos City Lord, Luo Feng may never have risen. Without Tian Shi, Luo Feng may never have had the chance to rise. It is this contrast, shield and sword, patience and ferocity, that defines humanity's path. So what is Tian Shi's ultimate legacy? It's not just the battles he won. It's not just the enemies he crushed. It is the atmosphere of deterrence he left behind. A legacy where alien races, even long after his victories, remember humanity not as prey, but as a race guarded by monsters like Tian Shi. For Luo Feng, that shadow is crucial, because while Chaos City Lord was the mentor who lit his path, Tian Shi was the silent storm who cleared the skies. His hand was invisible, but his impact undeniable. And so, Tian Shi Palace Master stands as one of the great pillars of the human race in Swallowed Star. A warrior who believed in absolute power, who shaped the battlefield through fear, and who left a legacy that echoes across both enemies and allies. His philosophy may clash with Chaos City Lord's vision, but together they formed the paradox that allowed humanity not only to survive, but to thrive. And in the end, Luo Feng's journey, the journey that would carry him beyond even the realm of palace masters, was only possible because of men like Tian Shi. And that is the story of Tian Shi Palace Master, a warrior who rose through ruthless battle, claimed his seat among palace masters, and left behind a legacy of fear, stability, and survival. He was no teacher, no nurturer. He was a storm, a blade, and though history may debate whether his methods were too ruthless, none can deny this. Without Tian Shi, Luo Feng's story, and perhaps humanity itself, might never have survived long enough to be written. So I'll leave you with this question. Do you believe humanity needed Tian Shi's ruthless blade? Or was Chaos City Lord's patient shield the true savior of the race? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate, sword or shield, is as eternal as the stars themselves. And as always, thank you for watching Animeverse Hub. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the legends of Swallowed Star.